How's it going, folks? My name's Philip. I am 38 years old and I moved to France. Wild, wet, windy France. I moved to France 3 years ago when I was 35-ish. And I wanted to make this video today. This is my first video. And I just wanted to talk about my journey in France so far. Let me fix it up there to get my van. My journey so far here in France. The positives, the negatives, and some of the things I've learned. And some of the things I wish I'd known before I came. The reason why I'm doing this is because I want to share my experience. And maybe it will help other people that are, because I wish I'd known someone that was doing something similar. It might help other people that are thinking about making a big move in their life, whether that be from Ireland to France or anywhere, to be honest, where you're going to have things like language barriers and just starting again somewhere else and all the challenges that poses. So that's why I wanted to do the video today. It's absolutely pissing rain down here. So I'm in a place called Granville, which is in Normandy, which is in the northwest of France. And it's a beautiful coastal town. Population's about, I think it's about 16 or 17,000, but it's a lovely place. But I want to talk a little bit about first who I am. So my name's Philip. I left Ireland in 2022, and my partner's French. I should mention that now. So we'd lived together in Ireland for I'd say about 4 or 5 years, and we had our son Luca in 2019, sorry, right at the end of 2019, and COVID came. Sorry, big spit there. COVID came, and we closed the business that we were running together. I started another business, and things were going all right, but there were a lot of challenges in terms of life for a small family or a family starting out in Ireland, and I'll maybe come to them in a second. So we made the decision based on those factors that I'll cover in a second. We made the decision that we'd go and give France a go, and so we moved here in 2022. So maybe I'll start by covering off some of the positive things about life where we are here in France. These are my experiences, so everyone's different, and I appreciate if you're watching the video that you might have a different opinion or you disagree, so that's fine. But positives, I would say, is definitely the pace of life. So what I mean by that, from what I can see, no one's kind of killed running around, no one's stressing the whole time. People take their time about things, and I'll give you a good kind of measurement of that, or a good kind of piece of evidence for that maybe would be you can't get coffee to go here. Very rarely anywhere there's coffee in a cardboard cup. Really popular in Ireland. You go anywhere in Dublin, or even where I'm from, Wicklow, you'll always see people walking around with a coffee in a cardboard cup. Now I know it's nice sometimes to walk with a coffee in a cardboard cup, but the attitude here in France is, if I'm having a coffee, I'm going to sit down and drink my coffee and take my time in a cafe and talk to people, or read my book, smoke my cigarette, have my beer, whatever they're doing. Where in Ireland it's almost like, I'm going to have my coffee while I'm working, or I'm going to have my coffee while I'm doing this thing that I need to do. So that kind of maybe not a good example, or kind of something that stuck with me at the start was the fact that you couldn't. Maybe in Paris, I don't know. I haven't been to Paris very often, and I haven't been here since I moved. I have been here years ago, but not since I moved here full time. So maybe in Paris that's not the case. But I guess what the point I'm trying to make is, people take their time. Lunchtime's another one. So at lunchtime, it's not unusual here for people to take an hour and a half for their lunch. People go to the gym, have a full gym session. You might start lunch at 12:30 and not go back till 2 o'clock. That's not everywhere, but it is in a lot of places. An hour and a half for lunch. And people take their time and enjoy their meals. A lot of people have their bigger meal at lunchtime. Noticed that when I've worked on certain jobs, people have a large meal, cheese, dessert, the whole lot after. So yeah, they take their time, and I don't feel there's any unnecessary rushing and pulling and tearing there. Which, comparing to Ireland, again, everyone's experience is different, but my own was, it's all go all the time, and it sort of has to be because of the price of everything, and just to survive you need to be going all the time. And that's like commuting, where I was in Wicklow, you're commuting to Dublin, spending sometimes 4 hours a day just in the car, on the bus. And I'd never go back to that sort of a life now after living here. Absolutely not. So yeah, I'd say the pace of life and the kind of attitude towards life, and I guess that might kind of segue into the next thing that I think is a big difference, and that's sort of attitudes towards work-life balance. That's a good example there. Having a good lunch, feeding yourself properly and taking your time, and maybe going to the gym on your lunch or whatever, utilising that time is more important than getting an extra 20 minutes of sitting at your desk doing whatever mundane task you're doing. And again, everyone's experience is different, but that attitude to work-life balance, it's great here. And I found it difficult at the start because I was someone that was always always busy and always trying to be busy and always trying to fill my time. Probably other issues there behind that, but the idea of downtime and the idea of work-life balance, just I didn't even think about it. I thought it was a great thing to always be working and going all the time. But after 3 years now, I'm starting to see why. We're starting to see the benefits, I suppose, of making more time for yourself and making work less of a, maybe not making work the number one priority, And then people work hard in France, don't get me wrong. Different work ethic to where we are in Ireland. So I'm not saying that people don't work hard. I think people don't let their job or their work define them. I think in Ireland, a lot of people attached, again my experience, a lot of people kind of get attached to their work and attached to their work is who they are. And if that makes you happy, that's great, but if things aren't going well in work, or if things aren't working out for you in work, does that mean, I don't want to get too deep here, but does that mean you're not good because your work's not going good? And I definitely suffered with that in different jobs over the years, whether it's being self-employed or working in companies and for companies. Things are going great, you feel great. Things aren't going as well, I'd often get down and kind of upset over that. And my feeling here, and it's not that I've had long conversations with French, obviously my partner's French. I wouldn't say I've discussed this a lot with French people, but it just seems evident that aren't your job isn't who you are. And that's something I've learned since I've got here. Yeah, that's not to say that was a huge pain point for me, learning that. It was a huge pain point for me, learning that, going through that and realising when I had no work when I first came here, and I was that was very, very scary when I first got here, and when I was just first getting set up, you're not working. Yeah, you do need the work, don't get me wrong, work's important. But I guess the point I'm trying to make here in a long roundabout way is it shouldn't define you. And then I suppose the next big plus, and this is for anyone that's got kids or young children, one of the biggest reasons why we came here was we were scratching at home thinking, what are we going to do in terms of things had reopened after COVID. You know, I was doing the gardening and the home maintenance. I'm doing a good bit of that here, but Marie was in the coffee shop. We could have survived, I suppose, but who wants to just survive? And we were looking at the cost of childcare, and it was just it was crazy. We're talking about €100 a day at the time. Now it could be more now, I don't know, but I was ringing around talking to different kind of creches and childminding places, and it was €100 a day seemed to be the standard number across all the different places that I rang. And I was just thought, we were looking at each other going, this is crazy. How is this gonna? How are we gonna live? Because in my head I was going, I'm just gonna have to work here all the time just to cover those type of costs. Never mind doing it for yourself. Just kind of surviving was going to take a lot. So childcare here is accessible, it's affordable. I'll give you an example. Lucas 5, my son, and we can drop him off at school at any time from 7 a.m. onwards. There's like a preschool creche thing. He gets his lunch, he gets fed in there in the school canteen, and then we can pick him up as late as 7 p.m. if we need them. We don't do that. It all depends on schedules at this time of year. Gardens are quiet, a lot of rain at the minute. But you know, the school he's learning, he's getting educated, also almost doubles up as a care facility. Now I don't know if they'd appreciate me saying that, but that after school and preschool supervision, I'm not sure what the correct name is for it actually, but it's absolutely brilliant. And Marie does all the paperwork on that, but it's cheap as chips. It's very, very affordable. Now, I'd imagine it's all based on your income and what you've earned and what you're earning, etc. But it's very, very, very affordable. So they're the main benefits, I suppose. So I guess work-life balance, pace of life, which I think are related, but not necessarily. And then for us, it's been childcare. In terms of there's another sort of education / childcare, I suppose. But like, I'll give you another example. The school is open Monday, Tuesday, closed on Wednesday, and then open again Thursday, Friday. And the school's closed on a Wednesday, but there's just other big kind of massive, I guess you call it child super, I don't know what you'd call it. Just a place where they look after children, but it's not a creche because there's older kids there. Like there'd be kids up to 12, 13, 14 there. But basically this is another facility that's provided, and you just again drop your child off in the morning, and that day the school's closed. And then in the summer, when the school's closed for the summer holidays, it's called Chateau Bonheur, and I think it means something like Happy Castle. But for the summer, while I'm working, and I am going to be really busy in the summer in Seoul and Marie, we've got this facility where again it's, I don't know, I think it works out like €4 or €5 a day. And yeah, that's him taken care of. We know he's in safe hands. Again, he's fed and looked after, and he loves it, and he has a great time. So they're the big benefits. There's lots more benefits, but I think for the purposes of the video, so we're like 15 minutes in, I guess, for the purposes of the video, they're the main ones. And then in terms of the things that I found difficult, again, my personal experience, sorry, I can't see out the bloody window here, I'm staying up my old man. Number one's French, the language. So for anyone watching the video that's thinking of moving to France or any other country where you have to learn the language, I took it for granted. Don't take it for granted. So I just presumed I'd pick it up easy. It would sort of naturally just come to me. It won't. It doesn't. I didn't try before I got here, and then when I got here I kind of felt sorry for myself. Oh, I can't speak French, and so I need to open my window here just to clear it. Got into this hole of, oh, I'm never going to get it, and yeah, just feeling sorry for myself and not doing anything about it. Instead of taking action, just whinging to myself. Yeah, it's a stupid approach, but yeah, learn the language as best you can before you come. Get the basics down and take that really, really seriously. I'll give you an example. I remember the first time walking into a bakery, a boulangerie. Terrible, I'm still terrible at pronunciation, but French bakers. A boulangerie. So anyway, I walked in to order my first after I've been here on holidays before, but always with Marie, so she always done the talking. So went in the first time, and I remember asking for a baguette, and I tried to ask in French, je voudrais une baguette s'il vous plaît. I've got it down now, I didn't then. No, it was the baguette tradition. Still struggle with that one actually. So it's a type of baguette called la tradition, and I remember going in and asking this girl. She's actually lovely, and as the years have gone on, she's been really friendly with me and Luca and Marie. She gives Luca sweets and stuff. But I remember this day going in and asking her in French, trying twice, and she couldn't understand me. Now I remember at the time thinking, how could she not understand me? Like I'm looking for a baguette. I'm not, you know, I'm close there. And I was saying la tradition, I was getting it, but not quite. You know, what else could I be asking for? Was my attitude in my head. And I walked out and I was fuming. Not necessarily with her, but the kind of the situation. And looking back on it, you know, maybe there could have been another way to ask for it. Or what I do now when I'm not sure if they've understood me, or if I'm not sure about the pronunciation, I'll just point at the same time. I'll be as polite as I can, but I'll point. But I guess the point of that story is bet myself up, gotten really annoyed, and for a long time I was thinking, for the first year, what have I done? This is so hard. And it was just probably one of the biggest things was that inability to speak French, and just seeing it as a massive problem. Looking back, I wish I'd have given myself a bit more of a chance, and just sort of done as much prep as I could before I got here. Now I was really busy in order before I came. It's not like I could spend 2 hours a day studying French, or maybe I could have, but that's what my advice to everybody: get the language down, because they're not where we are, particularly now. I know it's probably different in Paris and stuff, but where we are in Stromville, I think people do speak good English around here. They're not going to make any effort for you. They're kind of right. We're in France, we're going to speak French. If you walk into a shop and just expect people to, you know, I didn't do this. I always tried to speak French, and then what happened was, when I wasn't getting it at the start, I kind of clammed up and avoided it. But the French aren't going to just start speaking your language to suit you. especially in places like where we are. So get your French down and take that really, really seriously. Can't stress that enough. Especially if, like me, you're a bit of a worrier and an overthinker. You're going to struggle if you don't have a grasp on it. Then the second thing I think is work. So I'll share my experience. The first year I didn't work and I didn't have a social security number, and I wasn't in the system here, so I was kind of living off savings. Marie had a job, she'd got a job in a pub. So the first year I was minding Luca. We didn't have the creche at the time either, by the way, so the first, I'm gonna say at least 6 to 8 months, it was just sort of me and Luca and Marie working, me trying to get into the system, the bureaucracy, the paperwork. I was trying to set up my business, so you need what's called a CIRT number, so basically just a business number before you can start working here, self-employment I mean. And I applied to agencies and stuff, jobs agencies locally, and I didn't get anywhere with it. Now I didn't. I wouldn't say I gave the maximum effort to find a job here, because like I said, I had some savings and I didn't want to take just anything. But looking back, I probably should have pushed a bit harder and tried to get into the system that bit quicker, because that was very frustrating. There was a link there between me not working and also not being in the system. So either have a job lined up, or maybe have a job before you get here, or if you work online, make sure you've got because even if you have a job online and you work for yourself, let's say, you're still going to need one of those CIRT numbers so that you're compliant for tax reasons and stuff. But yeah, also where we are, I don't know fully the employment demographic or the breakdown of employment where we are, but there are I think jobs are kind of like hospitality, for example. Now I work in hospitality part-time as well as doing my own thing. Like seasonal, that's what I was trying to say. So there is work here hospitality-wise seasonally, which like I said, it links back to the French. You're going to need some level of French there to get a job. And I think that's why the jobs agencies, when I went down to them with Marie, basic level French, and I'd say the people that worked in there, I don't know if they're like the recruiters or whatever they're called, but I'd imagine I just kind of went, where's he going to work if he can't speak French, or who's going to hire him? So there's a link there between work and the French. I think I didn't have the confidence to apply for roles that I would be more than capable of doing now at the time, because my French wasn't just wasn't what it needs to be. So I guess French and employment links into one another there. And then lastly, this is a bit philosophical maybe, but I think the last point would be just to be ready for the expectation versus the reality. So I remember before moving here and thinking about it, the dream, and sometimes that's the best part, isn't it? The planning and the thinking and the how your life's going to be better and all that kind of stuff. That's sometimes the best part of it all. And the reality, especially the first, I think something clicked in the last year or so. I think last year things clicked for me in terms of I'm in the system, I'm doing work I want to do, so I've got my own business set up, and then I've got a part-time job here as well, which has helped me develop my language, and it's also helped me socially and just helped me integrate a bit better, I suppose, by working with other French people. But everyone's different, and I really struggled here that first year. I really, really did. Now I had to go back and forward a couple of times to Ireland. I was closing out some of my affairs over there, and I what's that saying? I was tying up the loose ends, so I was having to go back and forward quite a bit as well, and had a couple of family matters that I had to deal with. So that first year, I'm trying to settle in, and I'm having to go back and forward, and I'm not really giving myself a chance to settle in. And then your mind does this, or your mind did anyway, where your mind just goes, you made the wrong decision, why have you done it? Remember all the stuff you've left behind. And I guess, you know, you need to be ready for that doubt, and ready for the difficulties and the challenges. And if you prepare mentally, that things won't always be rosy and things won't always be easy, that will help you on the darker days, I think, because I did have some dark days, you know. So that's it. That's kind of my first video. Like I said, I wanted to do a video to share my experiences so far in 3 years. I think I'll leave it at that for today, and if you've enjoyed the video, let me know. If you've any questions, or if you have a similar experience, if you've moved from Ireland to France, or any country to any country, but particularly if you've moved from Ireland to France, or France to Ireland, let me know your thoughts and your opinions. And and let me know if you have any ideas for future videos. I might do a video every week, especially this time of year when I can't get out and do a whole lot of work outside. But yeah, if you have any tips, I'm probably going to do a video walking down the street next, show you the main street of Granville and the different shops and stuff like that. But yeah, if you've got any ideas, let me know. But yeah, if you've watched the whole video, I appreciate it. If you watched some of the video, I appreciate it. And talk to you soon. All the best. Au revoir.